Welcome and good evening. How are you all doing? Good evening, good evening. Great to see all the comments and the pumped up Josh in the chat. Good. So, how are you all doing today? Dipti and I are happy to welcome you. And Preetham is asking a very, very pertinent question. And the answer of that lies in the 2 hours that you are going to be with us here. So, welcome and thank you for that question. What does personality to possibility mean? Yeah, good. So, thank you. Thank you for being here. And before we dive into what we want to share with you today, quickly, let's put in some ideas in the chat and ideas about, in a way, responding to what Preetham is also asking. Okay. So, something that comes to your mind when you think about what does personality meets possibility mean? What do you think about this journey? What are we talking about? Don't bother to come up with the correct answer. We are not looking up the correct, perfect answer. Whatever comes to your mind. Playing full potential. Interesting. Aligning passion with purpose. Nice. Being yourself. Okay. How to maximize your talents. Great. Aren't we already doing that? Come on, keep sharing. What comes to your mind when you think about this title from personality to possibility? Raising our vibrations, creating positive impressions, possible to change the personality to achieve desired outcomes. Okay. Do we need to change the personality? Okay, fine. We'll see that. Grooming to be where you want to be. Okay. Exploring self, change, current to desired future state, capabilities to resonate. Remove yourself the block to possibilities and growth. Maybe to take things work, make things work in our desired way without any compromise. Interesting. Match personality with possibility to get the best. Okay, great, great, great. I'm reading all. Good. Nice. Blooming. Present capacity to do all possible that we need to become better. Unlearn to learn. Whatever your mind can think, body can achieve. Where you are to where you want to be. Not constrained by personality, but create possibility. That's also an interesting take. Are we constrained by our personality? Let's evolve and let's explore that. Ready to move where you want to go. Awesome. So, warm welcome to all of you. And thank you. I mean, whatever you have shared, whatever brainstorming you have done in the chat, definitely we are somewhere very close to that. In some form or the other, you'll be able to connect the dots. But of course, this is going to be a bit more deeper. So, are we ready for some deeper insights today? Can we evolve the person? Shiv Khera story, color of the balloon. Great. Patterned identity to conscious choice. Discover personality, invent possibility. Interesting. Interesting way to put it. Yeah. Good. Good. Okay, great. I was just read all the comments, even though I may not have read it aloud. But yes, we are always looking at what you are sharing. Thank you. Okay. So um we had done this session last week in Mumbai. How many of y'all were there? Just type in me. Yes, Siddharth, Priyal, Madhvi, Sharanappa, Jalpa. Yes. So welcome, welcome again. Welcome again. And all those who are not there, don't worry. You are also most welcome because we are going to have some overlap. Some things will be completely new for all. Some things will be similar to what those who attended live would have seen. Perfectly fine. And yet, even those who have attended live, who had attended the offline version, let me share one thing with you before we move ahead. Even if you are going through the same content, of course, there is going to be some difference. There is a bonus, by the way, today, which was not there that day. But even if the content was entirely the same, what would you think has changed in the way you would absorb today's session? And this question is for those who attended live last time. Even if even if I share, even if we share the exact same thing, which is not the same anyway, not entirely same, but even if we share the exact same things, What would have changed from last time to today in the way you take away from today? What changes? And share in the chat. Better self experience of share of life. Yeah. Awareness. Okay. Now you are here with a new awareness. Yeah. Knowledge and perspectives. Yeah. Okay. Let me share with you what changed. Even if the content is entirely the same, what changed is you. Because you are not the same before the version of you that entered into the offline session last week. And now when you are here, you've already got some kind of traction over your thought, some kind of more awareness. And even if you take and absorb exactly the same thing, even if that were to be the case, the way your mind will process it is now with the evolved version of you. So welcome. Yes. This time the color choices may change. Yeah. Yes. True. All right. So good. So we are getting some idea about where we are headed to. Okay. So before I continue further, a quick sharing I would like you all to do. In case we were to ask you to select one of these four colors, which color would you select? Only one. Great. I want everyone to participate. Just pick the first choice that comes. Great. Good. Wonderful. Wonderful. I think if you were to, like in school, we had, right? Red house, yellow house, blue house, green house. If we were to put you all into houses like that, you would be like forming teams together. Nice. Good. Good. Thank you. Okay. Great. Lovely. We'll take a few more seconds. Yeah. Yash is very careful now after the experience last week. Okay, don't worry. We are not going to troll anyone today. Okay. Okay. Now, all those I've shared. Um, I just want you to process this question in your mind and just keep it kind of a question in your own mind. No need to share. Don't type the answer in the chat. Just something for you to process. What made you choose the color that you chose? Don't share anything. Don't write the answer. Just keep these thoughts in your mind. Sometimes it may be that you have randomly chosen, or it could be your favorite color, or it could be something that matches with what you're wearing today. Whatever the reason. And let me tell you one thing, the reason, even though you may think is random, the reason is not random. There is a reason, there is a choice behind the choice that we make. So just stay with that thought as we go ahead. So thank you for choosing the color. Now, most of you here already know me. So this is my profile, just in case somebody is here who has not yet worked with me before or attended my sessions. So I am basically, today, as I stand today, I'm an expert master trainer of neuro-linguistic programming. And I use it in my corporate coaching sessions. I use it in my one-to-one coaching and training sessions as well. And I also conduct certification programs that certify you to become NLP practitioners, NLP master practitioners, as well as NLP trainers. Okay. And apart from that, of course, my prior, it appears like a past life today. But before I got into this field 12 years ago, I have been a finance professional. I've been into various companies as CFOs, as director, as VP. And because my basic qualification in finance is chartered accountant, MBA, and many more. Apart from that, I believe my belief in life is that be a WIP till you RIP. Be a work in progress till you rest in peace. This mind map that you see here of my experiences is like 6 months ago, and it's yet to be updated for the last 6 months. Many more branches have come, and maybe by the time we meet again, many more will still evolve. But I'll keep sharing about how this particular aspect that we are talking about, the meeting of personality and possibility, has played a vital role in my journey. I will share that when we come to that. But for now, let me introduce you to my co-trainer, co-facilitator here, Dipti Jandial, who is an expert in personality behavior assessment. Okay, so every time she corrects me when I say assessment, it's this particular type of assessment. Okay, because initially when I first met her and she said that she does assessments and personality assessments, my initial response to her was that, is this another psychometric assessment? There are so many out there. Is this something that you will start using to label people? कि आप ऐसे हो, you are like this, you are like that, blah blah blah. These are your definitions. These are your labels. And she said, no, this is my tool. My expertise lies in PRISM. And what PRISM is, I will let her speak about it. And I will let her share a bit about her journey. So I'll I will hand it over to Dipti over here. Dipti, welcome. The floor is yours. And
Thank you.
guys, I'll see you in some while. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Meher. Good evening, everyone. I believe this Zoom particular platform, thank God for these particular little traits that the online platform has given us. I want you to give me a quick thumbs up if you are able to hear me and see me both, because Meher has anyway stolen up the show, the whole show. Good evening, Siddharth. Thank you so much for being there. And thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time off, and that too on a Friday. I'm sure that we both are motivating enough for all of you all to sit back for the next 2 hours and spend it with us. And Meher is holding a cup in his hand very smartly. We don't know what's in it. But this session is going to speak about everything that is in it for you, from your personality to the possibilities. And I just loved the kind of responses you all gave, right from doing the most out of your personality, coming to possibilities, and there's so much more about it. But what intrigued me was particularly one response, and there are many much responses, that Shiv Khera's little thing adage, that story of a little boy buying a balloon and asking the balloon seller which color would go up. And it's not the color that goes up, it's what inside it. Okay, and that's the learning that we've all grown up with. Thank you so much for having both Meher and me on the show. Unlike Meher, who's had a battery of things, my tree is literally very, very small. No past experience of the corporate. I have been floating into what I've been doing is behavioral sciences, neurology, as well as working on human behavior for the past 28 years. More than 275 odd companies that I've trained so far, both nationally as well as internationally. A lot of work that I've done around assessments and human behavior, be it with Hogan, be it with DISC, extended DISC, PRISM, that I'm literally married to for so many long years. I work extensively on people's emotions because I'm an emotional intelligence assessor from the Medical Health Society of the US. Apart from being an assessor for assessment centers, I've been an ICF coach for the past good 18 long years, and I marry all of these particular things along with the work that I do. And it's extremely wonderful to have this particular cohort of people of close to what, 138. We're still having people join this particular forum. Amazing to have all of you out on this particular platform to speak to us, to have an insight about this particular workshop called as Personality to Possibility. And exactly what Meher said, I'll just repeat it very quickly. The reason why all of you here are joining the online from the offline is because, not because there are bonuses attached, but because you all have all grown and migrated from that MCR room to this particular point. So there is a lot of work that we still need to do. So welcome to the show. And I hope you're holding up to those responses of which color. I just read somebody कि बहुत सारे colors change हो गए यार, बचपन से तो ये वाला था, वो वाला था. No worries at all. None of us are going to actually target why this color, why blue, why green. Because if you see what I am wearing, I'm wearing a mix of black, white, gray, and so many more. This is not going to fundamentally decide your personality at all. So give me a quick heart. I'm fed up of these, thumbs up. Very boring. Give me a quick heart if you're all ready to take up the next step. Oh, it's so sweet. Oh my God. All bursting around. Cool. Super. Thank you for the love, affection. Stick on. I'm going to show you something really interesting. You probably may have seen it, but I would like you to see it in a different perspective. What's coming through is a video. I would like you to soak that in. For the people who've already seen the video or may have had a grab of it earlier, I'd like you to let it absorb in a different format altogether. Hold on to the chat box. Don't be too quick to resonate and to respond. Let others also come up through with it. And here we go. I'm going to share my screen very quickly. Meher, may I?
Yes, all yours.
Thank you so much, Meher. All right, here we go.
Yeah, need to share, Dipti. No, great.
Give me a yes quickly with a thumbs up if you could see and you could hear the background music. If you could see the whole video and you could hear it. Okay, thanks, Anju. That was really swift. What I want you to do is very simple. Okay, you will have to write down what did you just observe when you were watching this particular video on the chat. What did you just observe? What is the first thing that you see, or did you notice on the WhatsApp on the chat, please? All right, you saw layers. Okay, many layers. Layers coming off, unmasking. All right, taking off. Mhm. Patience. Nice, interesting. All right, the efforts. All right, what more? Is it undressing? Okay, wasn't sure who was behind. That's interesting. All right, cool. Very, very interesting answers. After the layers are gone, sincerity, a lot of weight carried. It's an art. Very interesting responses. Cool. All right, I'm going just to hold it on. Just hold on to your responses very quickly. All right, I think it goes on and on and on. Quick question. How many of you know that this is a Kathakali dance? Give me a thumbs up. Don't have to write down anything. This is a Kathakali. Brilliant. Thank you, ma'am. Nawaz, ma'am, thank you so much. This is really nice. She's on camera and she is actually doing this. This is super nice. Kathakali dancers do not have a particular agenda to the dance till they are not unmasked. Not sure if you know this or not, but Kathakali dancers take close to 3 to 4 hours to adorn a gear which ranges between 12 to 18 kgs to 20 kgs. I repeat again, it's 12 to 18 kgs to 20 kgs odd. This is the kind of the weight that the particular dancer carries, be it a man or a woman. Now comes the part where the unmasking happened, and you will be surprised to know when the unmasking happened, there were multiple people to unmask till the time she did not come to the face. Did you notice that? Give me a thumbs up very quickly. She was being layered by clothes. People were helping her get her off the layers of the clothes. But when it came to the makeup on the face, she literally had to put oil on her hands and she literally had to get it off her face. Okay. Now, all of us have got layers on us. Agree, disagree? Only on the chat, please. Agree or disagree? Just these two responses. Don't say I don't know. कौन बनेगा करोड़पति? सिर्फ दो ही responses हैं और इसमें कोई करोड़पति नहीं बन सकता. मेरे पास ही पैसे नहीं है. Cool. Awesome. Agree. Cool. Lovely. How many of us think and know that we all have layers on us? Simply yes or no. Do we have layers? Nawaz ma'am, thank you so much. That is really swift, quick. I would like it on the chat box, please, if you don't mind quickly doing that. Do we have layers on us? All right, quick question. Is it normal to have a layer? Should we have a layer on us? Awesome. People are saying normal, yes, 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 yes. Then why do people say that don't be masked? ऐसे मत करो. तुम्हारे मुंह पे मुखौटा क्यों है? Why do people say that? Raj, I like that response. It's said by default. All right, by default. It's tricky, but you have to have it. Of course, you have to have it. Then why do people sometimes say that it is bad to have a mask on? Why do people say that? If you can just respond. All want to have a true self in front of them. Okay, you can't be the same everywhere. All right. Okay. Interesting responses. Nice. That we carry. Well, all right. So we'll hold up the responses out here. This particular program that you're just going through in this particular forum, the entire name and the entirety of this workshop is the personality to the possibility. The most crucial statement that I would like to make as a behavioral assessment specialist or somebody who's been going through this for so many long years with so many profiles that I have done, especially with PRISM for that matter, let me tell you, the core of this workshop is you are not the same from the cradle to the grave. I'll repeat this once again because this is the core of the workshop. You're not the same from the cradle to the grave. You just cannot be the same. We layer ourselves, yes, we do, because that is not default. We add it up to ourselves. Why do we have to add it up to ourselves? Because that is mastery that we attain over situations. That is mastery that you achieve only to maintain relationships. Typically speaking, you might appear as one person to one, but you might appear as somebody else to another person. If you agree, just give me yes on the chat box. Some people may see one part of you, some people may see the other part of you, and some people say, hey, I didn't notice this in you. How can you say that you're different? How can you say that this is what you are? So there are multiple layers. Agree, yes, no, please. All right, I see a lot of responses coming through. Even if you're unable to put it on the chat, just give me a thumbs up and you're more than welcome. I will see your responses because there are too many things which are coming up right now. Lovely. So with this particular video that you saw of the unmasking of this particular Kathakali player, who is a dancer, the final outcome is that she is a female. Thank God that just the gender is not known, but the behavior is dance per se, mudra per se, or situation per se. So what is happening? It is not the person that is changing, it is the behavior that is changing. We may play multiple roles, but are you trying to say the identity changes? The answer to that is a very clear cut no. Identities do not change. We move and oscillate between behaviors. So sometimes you may have people saying that you are different here, but you're different there. So typically, you may be, there are some people who are very fondly called as Golu at home. The same Golu is a Rajesh Sharma at work. Is the person different? Yes or no? Very quickly on the chat. Is the person different? No answer? No, correct. Very good. The person is not the same. Oh, the person is the same? No, the person is not different? No. There is such a lot of irony behind it that we are unable to understand. The person is the same. The person is not different. He has just got two different identities, one at home and the other at workplace. And both these particular identities belong to the same person. What he is or she is doing is just changing the role. Now the question comes is, which I want you to write down on the chat only. Okay. Okay, Archana's answer is very holistic. It's the same soul playing different roles on the platform of the world drama. Archana, this is philosophy on a Friday evening, and I'm just going to reel through it. Okay, brilliant answer. And Archana, for your response, I am going to give you a nice little heart. Here you go, Archana. Very philosophical. थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा सोक करने के लिए, लेकिन हो जाएगा. We are all playing. Yes, this is typically the आनंद dialogue. हम सब यहाँ पे क्या हैं? जल्दी से. Anybody wants to complete it? हम सब यहाँ पे क्या हैं? Nobody knows. हे भगवान, nobody's watched आनंद. हम सब यहाँ पे actors हैं. बिल्कुल सही. And we are actually going through the drama. Now, very quick. How many parts of a brain do you have? जल्दी से. Fastest fingers first. अरे वाह, कठपुतलियां. Correct. कलाकार. How many parts of the brain do we have? 2. बाप रे. Okay, I need to find out बाकी के सब कहाँ चले गए. ब्रेन्स कहाँ चले गए? I mean to say. सब लोगों ने ज्वाइन करके किसी ने 4 लिखा है, किसी ने 3 लिखा है. ये 3 वाले कौन है? मुझे इनसे मिलना है. 6, 8. Arvind, how many brains have you attacked? Oh my God, what varied kinds of answers. Thank God you did 50 brains. प्रीतम जी 50 ब्रेन्स कितने लोगों की ऐड कर दी आपने? कितने पार्ट्स हैं ब्रेन के? आपने तो बहुत सारे पार्ट्स बना दिए. All right, hold on, stop your responses. This is going to be very interesting. Okay, Swami, you've written 10 lobes. I'll have to go back to my history, geography, and literally find out my anatomy ke 10 lobes hain ya nahi. I just know medulla oblongata, and you have got the chota brain, bada brain, cerebrum, cerebellum, and you've also got the hypothalamus, but that's not what we're talking about. We've got only 4 parts of the brain. I'm going to make it very neat, very quickly. Oops, knee is included. विक्रम, नो क्रैकिंग ऑफ सच काइंड ऑफ जोक्स. घुटने में दिमाग नहीं है, दैट्स एन अपसाइड आंसर. ये बिल्कुल नहीं चलेगा, ठीक है? यहां से बैन हो जाएंगे आप. विक्रम जी, बिल्कुल कोई जरूरत नहीं है ऐसा बोलने की, ठीक है? लोगों के घुटने से नीचे भी चले जाते हैं कभी कभी, ये मत भूलिएगा, ठीक है? विल बी स्क्रैचिंग आवर नीज देयर नाउ. ऑल राइट, कमिंग बैक. There are English, please. Samantha, sorry, my bad. Apologies. We've got some foreign participants also. All right, Meher, thank you so much for reminding me of that, that we've got foreign participants also. All right, my bad. All right, let's have these 4 parts of the brain, which is excellent, okay? We've got the left side of the brain, we've got the right side of the brain. We have got the front of the brain, which is called as a frontal lobe, and we've got the rear of the brain. Quick question. How many of us think that we use the entire brain? Just simply write down I do. Simply write down I do. That'll be more than sufficient for me. Is there anyone who can say that I use my entire brain? Mehul? All right. I'm very impressed. There are a lot of people. Okay. No, I do it in proportions. Yes, Nawaz ma'am, thank you so much for admitting that we do it in proportions. Well, typically, Komal is saying, I don't know. That's the best answer. I don't know whether I use my full brain or not. People who must be dealing with me know it. All right. Well, there is only one answer and one response to this. I'm sorry. But yes, you'll be surprised to know we do not use the entire potential of the brain. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is going to actually break open a lot of misnomers. We cannot use the entire of the brain. This is a misnomer. I want all of you all the right-handers to write down I am a right-hander. Just write down right hand on the chat box. Very quickly, right hand. Or even if you write R is perfectly fine. All right, perfect. How many left-handers? Quickly write down left. Nice, lovely, quickly. Shivani has written both. Shivani, hats off to you. You are ambidextrous and it's not easy. Sometimes left. All right. We both hands typing. Yes, Dr. Priyanka, absolutely with you. We use both hands for typing, but that may not be a default mechanism. We are trained to use both hands, but my question is very different. Default writing and default mechanism is only being with one hand. So typically, people who are right-handers, they would have a maximum usage of the left side of the brain, which is vice versa for the people who are using the left side of the brain and you use the right side. And now this is extremely interesting. For the people who are like Viru Sahasrabuddhe of 3 idiots, or who are typically called as ambidexterity or ambidextrous, they use both their hands parallelly, but the potential of the brain is different. I repeat again, are you utilizing the brain in entirety? The answer to that is a big no. The reason is very simple, because that is called as potential. Repeating it again for everyone, potential of the brain is completely different. So when we are speaking about potential, I'd like you to watch this and I'd like to bring out certain facts about all of these things, and then we will take it to the next step forward. All right. So let me share the screen once again with all you lovely people who are learners out here. Please let me know if the screen is visible. Is the screen visible? Quick yes. Meher can probably unmute himself and say yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Meher. Thanks. So what you see is this. So the maximum time that you see spent is on technical skills, and the littlest time that you spend is on people skills. And when you're speaking about people skills, what is noticeable here is that we hardly have time to watch into people's behavior, mechanism, or the why that they behave in a certain manner, and so on and so forth. And now the next question that comes to my mind, why is it important that we understand people's behavior? I'm going to come back to the main screen and take these responses from here. Why is it important to understand people's behavior? If you can quickly write it down on the chat box, why is it important to understand people's behavior? Let's do this very quickly together. Why is it important to understand people's behavior? For a good relationship? Wow, lovely. To know how to deal with them, to learn something new. Great, there's lovely responses. Better communication, relationship, influence. Super, very lovely, nice answers. To manage people, to respond, good, lovely. Because we're dealing with people most of the time. All right. What more? What more? What more do you see? Why is it necessary to understand people's behavior? Can avoid conflicts? Yes, of course, you can avoid conflicts. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? General management vis-a-vis technical skills? Okay. Perspectives should change. I'll just add one very important aspect. There are four areas where we would like to understand people's behavior, and those areas are: I want to be liked, I want to be loved, I want to be valued, and I want to be respected. How many agree with this? Give me a thumbs up. These are four cores that we operate on in a relationship. I want to be loved, liked, respected, and valued. Okay. Very interestingly, people give a lot of importance to the two words which are very frivolous, sorry, very lowly used, like and love. I can keep on falling in and out of love and likability. I might like ice cream today. I might start liking tiramisu tomorrow. Agree? Disagree? Only on the chats, please. Agree? Disagree? I'm talking about likability. I'm talking about likability. I might love somebody for the virtue of his or her communication, but I might fall in love with someone's proficiency in English. I might start loving somebody for somebody's personality. And have you noticed from like, I've simply moved to the word love? How quickly can we change between these emotions? How easy it is. Now, we obviously, Archana, I agree with you. We all need acknowledgement, and not just acknowledgement, we also need appreciation. Now comes the next question. How easy is it to get respect quickly? Is it easy to get respect, or is it very difficult to get respect? Easy or difficult? Just these two words. No other answers for Kaun Banega Crorepati or who becomes a millionaire. With Deepti being a pauper. Is it easy or is it difficult to get respect? Very difficult, right? When do you get respect? Just one word. When do you get respect? What do you need for respect? Quickly. Difficult to get, easy to lose. Superb. Very nice. Very nice. Respect is attached to principally to a designation, to a position, and to probably something that is gaining clout. So typically, imagine you've got a boss, you need to respect the boss because of the designation. You respect people because of their talent. You respect people because of power. You respect people because of their academics. You respect people because of their proficiency in any given thing that you do not have. But when do I want to be valued, or when can I be valued? What is the difference between value and respect? Where do you gain value? Very quickly. Where do you gain value? Just one episode is fine. How can you gain value? How can you gain value? Not so easy. Okay. How do you gain value? How can you gain value? Beautiful answer. When you're irreplaceable. Kya baat hai? When you're indispensable, by serving. Such a lovely answer. Such a lovely answer. When you're actually serving. Good. Nice. All right. Value is the satisfaction that you gain or you give to someone without any additional belonging added to it. I'll repeat it in simplistic words. Value is what you gain or you give to people without adding any kind of an additional attachment to it. So even if I'm unable to give something to someone, I am still making a valuable place in somebody's life. That means I do not attach that particular presence with anything. People for tapri chai, give me a yes on the chat, please. On the tapri chai. Jaldi say, you know what's a tapri chai? That you have it on the stall. Small little cups, very little tiny things. Give me a thumbs up, it's okay. Don't have to use the chat box. Jaldi say. For the people on the camera, it's an easy thing to do. Tapri chai. All right, cool. Now, a tapri chai vis-a-vis a chai in a very high-flying restaurant or probably in a cafe of a five-star hotel. What will you choose for satisfaction? On the chat box, please. What will you choose for satisfaction? Repeat again. What will you choose for satisfaction? Repeat again. What will you choose for satisfaction? Super. Lovely. Most of you all have written tapri chai. Now, quick one. What will you choose for laying an impression? What will you choose for laying an impression? Obviously, five-star. Wow, very nice. Because a five-star comes with an ambiance, a five-star comes with a price, a five-star comes with a premium quality, a five-star comes with a very beautiful porcelain pot which is specifically served to you. And here you have the tapri chai wala literally scraping off the, the residue of the earlier made chai, literally scraping the malai or putting the same particular tea leaves. And some people are smiling and saying, this is exactly what we go through every day, despite the fact that it pay 10 rupees. But the minute you give her 25 rupees, 250 rupees, the value increases. Value is what you gain when you attach it to something called as the word called satisfaction. But how interesting. What if I remove this particular satisfaction? What if I remove the attachment of the monetary aspect and I simply say just being happy? Is it different? The answer to that is absolutely yes. The attachment to that particular emotion is completely different. Now comes to the aspect of asking you something very simple. People who've gone in for interviews ever, or if you've gone for a date, or if you're meeting somebody, what is the most crucial thing that you will pay attention to? Very quickly on the chat box. You're meeting somebody for the first time, you're going for an interview. What is the most important thing that you pay attention to? Looks, impression, beautiful answer, neatness, tidiness, dressing, so lovely, presentation, clothes, lovely, superb. Absolutely right. What is the person looking for? What is the person looking out for? Who is sitting opposite you? What is the person looking out for? Way of talking, perfection, okay? More, a little more. Knowledge, nature, personality, right, Swami? Good, okay, personality. But that's not what exactly is seen, right? What is seen? Question is, what is seen? Quick question, what is seen? No answer. What is seen? What is seen? Just one word. Lovely. Outer, the competency. No, the competency is not seen, Harshal. Think about it. It's the first look, the way you knock at the door, the way you pull your chair, the way you sit down, the way you make a eye contact, the way you smile, the way you lay your impression, and that entire impression is up there, which is your physical aspect, which is the outer proficiency. Now a question which is hard hitting. Please think and then respond. Do you think it is right on anybody's part to reject any candidate, to reject any relationship, to reject people only on what is seen? Simply say yes or no. Is it okay to reject people, to reject a relationship, to reject a candidate only on what you see? No answer. No. Right. So where does the acceptance lie? Remember and recall this movie called The Titanic. My dear friends, the Titanic sank. Despite the ship being a very, very robust ship, an unsinkable and unthinkable kind of a particular feat that they did, this ship was not going to be sinking at all. But it is just a little bit of an overconfidence of the person who was steering the ship. He didn't realize that the tip of the iceberg is what is visible. What was not visible, what lies beneath the water. 10% is visible, which is only one fourth of the damage. But the three-fourth is below there. And that three-fourth of the personality is something that is never unearthed unless and until you don't deep dive. If you agree, give me a thumbs up. You don't have to always agree. Say no, Deepthi, explain. I'm perfectly good with that. But quickly tell me, unless and until I do not know the person intrinsically, for me to actually make a judgment only on what he or she is wearing, the kind of the clothes, the kind of the lipstick, the kind of the color of the glasses that you're wearing, the way you pull your chair, and whatever it is for that matter, it can be a misnomer. Though, now the question is, what is more damaging? What lies beneath or what you see? What is more damaging? What is lying beneath or what you see? This is a trick question, so be very mindful. What can be more dangerous? What lies beneath or what you can see? No answer? What lies beneath? What lies beneath? What lies beneath? Beneath is dangerous. All right. This is interesting. What lies beneath is exploratory. What you see is dangerous. Why? Because that can be masked. Did the Kathakali dancer showcase the gender that she or he is? No. So that's a given. That's a given that can be dangerous because we do not know what lies behind the mask. If I remove the mask, I'll know the person. How can that be dangerous? Deepti's work for donkey's years has been helping to interpret what lies beneath the veneer. PRISM as a behavioral inventory is the only one in the whole world right now on the Cronbach scale that stands at an accuracy of zero point 0.9 as against and vis-a-vis all other behavioral and attributional psychometric tools. I repeat again, it's a neurobehavioral medically proven inventory which is used for relationships, be it marriages, divorces, counseling, for the corporate, between managers, between employees, and most importantly, to understand who is the person that lies beneath the veneer. I repeat again, what lies beneath the mask? Oh my God, Nawaz ma'am, it is not prison, it's not jail, it is PRISM. I will put it up for you. This is pretty interesting. PRISM. It is PRISM. Okay, PRISM. PRISM is nothing but it's like that pyramid. When light passes through it, it becomes white. Seven colors. Well, PRISM does not believe in seven colors. We have very few little colors, which I will come to right in a moment from now. Talking about this, be it selection, recruitment, performance appraisal, be it different kinds of leadership patterns, the way you think, the way you emote, the way you behave, your emotional intelligence, your mental toughness. Imagine this is bigger than your astrological chart. 40 odd pages to make actually you understand of where you are and who you become. I repeat again, who you are and who you become. Meena has written appearances are deceptive. Yes, Meena, which is why it is important that we remove the mask and we meet people. Now, quick question. How many of you are the same every day with your family and with your colleagues? Simply say yes. I repeat my question for the benefit of being understood. How many of you are the same with your family and your colleagues every day? Same. I repeat, same. Not one iota of a change. Okay. All right. Superb. Thank you. Most of y'all are writing no. Now, next question, which could be a little tough. All right. Which could be a little tough. Who knows you the best? Only one answer. Who knows you the best? Nawaz ma'am, I like the way you said it. Yes. I like the way Nikhil is doing it. He's pointing a finger to himself. Nawaz ma'am also did the same thing. You knows yourself. Yes, you know yourself best. Then why do you have to deceive in front of people? Why do you have to become different in front of people? Why do you have to become different in front of people? Why do you have to change? Keep this thought with you. Don't, I do not want an answer. I do not want an answer. I really do not want an answer. Hold back your answer. I'm going to share the screen with you for something really interesting, which is talking nothing but about the iceberg theory. And let me share my screen very quickly with you. If there is a question, I'll be happy to respond to it. But for the moment, very quickly sharing the screen with you. Please let me know if the screen is visible. I'd request Meher to do this if you can see the screen. Meher? Yep.
Yeah.
All right. What you see at the tip of the iceberg is just 1/4 or 1/10. It's called the observed behavior. What you see is down there is the 90%, which is the values and the beliefs and the experiences and genetic traits and the cultural background and so on and so forth. This is the brain. Typically, the left and right, which speaks about routine as well as novelty. Routine is nothing but logic. Novelty is nothing but the right side of the brain talking about creativity. We speak about empathizing again, which is on the right side, again an emotion, and systemic, which is again the left side, being logical and very calculative. At this particular point, you have to understand that this is just a little bit of a dipstick of how your brain looks. And you'll be surprised to know that there is much more added to it. And for this, I will ask you a simple question. All of you picked up a color and you wrote your preferences red, yellow, whatever, green or blue and stuff like that. How if I say people who chose red are aggressive by nature? People who chose blue are very melancholical, very boring, they're very tepid. They're actually not very sound decision makers. They can actually be very emotional and they do not know logic. People who are yellow, oh my God, they're so drab, they're so optimistic about everything at times that they just do not understand the negativity behind things. And people who chose green, you all are envious people, very jealous, pathetically bad with your relationship with people. How many of you liked what I just told about you and your color patterns? Did you like it? Say yes, no, maybe kuch to kariye. Something, some reaction. Nawaz ma'am is saying yes, I'm okay about it. Okay, Nikhil is saying no. A lot of people are saying no. Okay, I see a lot of people nodding their head. No, it's wrong, it's absolutely wrong. Okay, Rupali is also saying no, nodding her head vigorously. No, this is wrong. Everything is going wrong. All right. Do you think did I do the right thing by actually putting you in brackets of the likability and non-likability? Nawaz ma'am is saying it's your opinion. No, ma'am, it's not an opinion. This is what you do in typecasting. This is exactly what you do in stereotyping. So please understand before I hand it over to Meher, who's going to take the next part, and then I'll come back again. PRISM does not stereotype and typecast you. PRISM does not label you. PRISM, which as an inventory, does not tell you this is who you can be or this is who you are. There is unearthing. When I say unearthing, please understand, unearthing means revealing, unveiling. Prism brings out who you are, not who you're supposed to be. People think that it is easy to know who you are, and the answer to that is a clear cut no. Me at 49, you'll be surprised to know that I unearth every different fabric of me as a person every day when I deal with people. I deal with so many different multiple and multifarious situations that I unearth different emotions of my life every day. Imagine your own selves. Can you actually typecast yourself with red, yellow, blue, green? How about this if I say, hey, your yellow is this or your red is that? This is called as stereotyping. Prism does not stereotype. And to lastly back it off before I hand it over to Meher, one very crucial thing. When there is no stereotyping, when there is no labeling, when you do not attach one particular trait to a person through a chosen color, what you're doing is you are giving path to growth. I repeat again, you're giving path to growth. You're giving loads and loads of chances for the people to develop themselves. More on Prism and why the Prism and how will this report come up to you in the session that we're going to take up at right ahead immediately. I will hand it over to Meher and I promise to come back. But do let me know, did something click inside you? Yes, no, maybe just a thumbs up, more than sufficient. Did something click? Did it literally at least help you to chew? Did I chew you on your brain or pick your brain? All right. The rest of the chewing up and the picking of the brain is going to be going to Meher. Meher, over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dipti. So, getting insights, getting understanding of where we are, how our brain is operating. And like the iceberg theory, what we are doing at the visible level is only the tip of the iceberg. And yet, a lot of judgment, a lot of decisions, a lot of um, ways of behavior are governed by what we see of ourselves and what we see of others. Now you may say, okay, what we see of others is one thing. We can understand that we don't know the complete iceberg model of theirs. But very often we also don't know the iceberg model of our own self. What are the deeper values, beliefs, attitude, all the elements that go beneath it? And one more thing in Prism, which Ripti will again come and share with you, there is a concept called as a brain mapping. So the process that will happen is it will create a map of your brain. And in NLP, we have understood a very interesting saying that the map is not the territory, isn't it? Now, whether you have understood NLP so far or not is not a question. The question is that what this profound saying means. If you and another person who stays in your own location, in your own building, if I ask both of you to draw a map from where you are to where you want to go, let's say a common point. Okay, let's say to the nearest mall or to the nearest railway station or to the airport. I tell both of you to draw that map. Do you think the map will be exactly identical? Why not? The starting point and the ending point are same, aren't they? And why not? Maybe the routes are different. Maybe even if they take the same route, even then it may not be the same. Because you may realize, oh, I didn't think about this particular landmark. Oh, they thought of this one. I didn't notice this is also there on the way. And there may be discrepancies, right? So that is what we mean by the map is not the territory. And for us also to realize that the map is not the territory. Now, how? Dipti asked you a few questions about unmasking. If we were to ask people who know you at different levels, someone in a professional area, how would they describe you? If you were to ask your friends, how would they describe you? If you were to ask people in your family, in your extended family, how would they describe you? If you were to ask a person, a family member staying with you in your own home, how would they describe you? Each one will describe you differently. And let me tell you one thing. The way you think they are going to describe you also going to be different from the way they are actually going to describe you. Right? And why I'm pointing out back to this point is that some of you here may be thinking that I don't need to unmask. I'm already the way I am. Whatever Dipti said so far is not applicable to me because I am the same person everywhere. If you are thinking like that, and if what I just asked you, if these five people are going to have even one slight difference in the way they describe you, it means that there is a mask. It's not about right or wrong. It's not about whether the mask should be there or not should be there, should not be there. That is your choice. There is a reason, like somebody had said in the chat when Dipti was sharing, that we do have to do it, right? There will be there. Now, the fact that there will be a separate mask for separate people, the only thing I want to bring to your awareness is that you at least don't fool yourself that I don't have a mask. Be aware. Understand your own territory before you create your maps. So, I have a few questions for you. Okay, and I hope you have a notebook handy with you. You're already making notes. I want you to write down, and writing down in your notebook is more important than sharing in the chat over here. Write down your top five strengths. Yes, what Nawaz and Smida are sharing are very insightful, very true. So understand that we are already anyway doing. Anyway, now come to this. Type in your top, or not type in, write your top five strengths. Done? Great. Some of you are still doing. Type in done once you're done. Good. Quick. And even as you write this, realize for some of you it may have come very naturally. Oh, this is great, this is that, this is that. Yeah, I'm good at this. And for some of you who are still wondering, strengths, do I even have any? Okay. If you didn't get five strengths, all those who were still wondering, then your task is to write down 10 strengths. Because it just means that you're not appreciating yourself enough. Okay. Great. Okay. So now that you have written this, good. Thank you for sharing. That's okay. Now that you have written your top five strengths, my next question to you is, and think about it, process it carefully. Write in your notebook. No need to share in the chat right now. The question is, when did your strengths not work for you? I'll explain. Yeah. Under which context, in which situation, the strength that you have did not work for you? You thought, oh, I'm very good at kind of, connecting with people. But there was a place where people thought, maybe I'm just giving a hypothetical example. Maybe someone thought that, oh, this person is too chipku, too much like, what, every time they only want to talk and get into small talk, right? I'm not talking when you don't use it. I'm talking when you use it. Yeah, when you got an unexpected response from the other person. So take your time, process this, write down on paper for each of the strengths, at least for two of the strengths that you have written out of top five. When, in which context you think that strength should have worked, but it did not work. Yeah, good networker did not work with high profile people. Right. Yeah, in real life scenario, what kind of typical scenarios? Yeah, real life, no hypothetical over here. I'm not asking you where would it not work. I'm asking you look back in your life and find out under what context, under what trigger, under what environment did that strength which was supposed to work did not work? Yeah, yeah, great. Great sharing. First, type on your notebook. Write on your notebook, sorry. Great, great. Hmm, wonderful. Hmm, interesting. Hmm, good. Some of you are really sharing your life lessons over here. Okay, that's okay. Fine. Become aware, right? So we think that we have a particular strength and it has worked for us. My question to you is that in that case, is your strength really your strength? Is your strength really your strength? Yes. Yes. No, no, no. It is your strength. Thank you. I'm so glad to see that most of you are all of you are saying yes. In the earlier one of the sessions, someone said, no, no, my strength is now my weakness. I'm realizing that. No, your strength is not your weakness. Your strength is indeed your strength. But where it does not work is about realizing that you need to use your strength where it works. And do not assume that just because it is your strength, it will work everywhere. That also brings me to one of the important premise or principles within NLP in neuro linguistic programming. It is said that every behavior is contextual. In what context are you using your strength? Sometimes you may realize I don't need to use my strength. That is fine. That's a different thing. Fair. At least you are aware that you don't want to use your strength in that context. But think about all those situations when you thought that you were smart enough, creative enough, problem solver enough, people's person enough, networker enough to make things happen. And then things fell flat. This happens in stressful situations or rather in some triggered situations where that strength is not required to be used. Something else is required to be used. A point to think over here is that under what context you go ahead and use your strength saying, no, I am a good networker, so it should work. I am a problem solver, so it should work. And we take that strength to the level of our identity. It is good to have that identity level strength in one way, in a major way, but sometimes overusing it may not work because then we tend to label ourselves with our strength. And this requires awareness. This requires us to know that what needs to be changed, what needs to be adapted. Yeah, flexibility is important. So remember one thing, nothing is broken and nothing needs fixing. Okay. Anyone here is aware about this particular art which is shown over here? You type in the chat if anyone knows. Yes, Kintsugi. Kintsugi is an art of creating art from broken pieces by the help of a golden glue. It's a Japanese art. So you are not broken that you need to be fixed. But what is that golden glue that you need to know that in which situation you can use what? Where will your golden glue come from? Where is your golden glue going to come from? From the strength, okay. Interesting. Where else can it come from? From inside, from within you. Right? When you mentioned that you are a right-hander or a left-hander, when Dipti was asking, you are not a right-hander or a left-hander, or because we just have the preference of using that particular right hand because it is working for us. Or for a left-handed person, it is a preference. Does that mean that if our dominant hand is injured, we cannot use the other hand? Let us say something happens and we have a fracture or injured or damaged something or the other. We can, right? Our body is very adaptive. And our body is adaptive because our mind is adaptive. And that is where our flexibility works. So if we were to say that, nay, I am a right-hander, so I will never use my left hand, then that is where you're labeling and fixating. But when you realize that my use of right hand is a preference, then I do have the flexibility to apply the other one, which may not be my preference. See, I'm not saying change the preference. I'm saying recognize the preference and wherever needed, understand that there may be a time where I may need to use something which is not my preference. But that doesn't mean that I can't use it. Okay, absorb this. And understand this, you are not stuck because you lack potential. You are stuck because the same response is being used in every situation. And that is what situational leadership is about, understanding in which situation, what kind of response will be needed. So there is a strength paradox. The paradox of strength is that every strength has a shadow. When we try to overuse our strength, let's say someone says, I am very good in pushing hard. When you start pushing hard, what happens? People think, no, this person has their own agenda. They start resisting. Somebody is a very good analyzer. Like there was a comment that my research kind of thinking comes in the way of decision making. Yeah, very good in analyzing, very good in research. But then what happens? It may lead to slowing of the progress. You may want to support everyone, people, person. Sometimes we miss out that there is a very thin boundary between people, person, and people pleasing. Are we able to create our boundaries and know that where we need to keep our voice? Then people who are just there to energize the room, ho halla karke, good motivation, and then team is all geared up. But then what about the planning? So this is our understanding what works where and what needs to be worked where. Your strength is not failing you. Your strength is still your strength. What is changing? The context is changing. If the same bridge is there, but there are no lights, can you use the bridge at night to cross from one place to another? Probably it becomes difficult. The strength of the bridge is still there. But maybe at night you will need some more lighting. So the realization part here is that when context changes, putting more effort will not help. Finding out and being flexible to find out where is your door with ease and flow, that is what will make the difference. Under pressure, what we do, we narrow down, we repeat what we do, we tend to overuse what we know. Why do we do that? Take this picture over here of a porcupine. Why does a porcupine have these horns? For protection. So we tend to overuse because our mind, understand one more principle in NLP is that every behavior, every thought has a positive intention. And when we are operating from that positive intention, the positive intention of overusing our patterns is exactly that. We want to protect us because we know that this is what works. This is what has worked. Yeah, Preetham is asking, how do we adapt? That's exactly what we are going to see. Today is more about awareness. So when someone says, this is how I am, how often have you used this? मैं ऐसा ही हूं. This is how I am. Happens in various contexts. Tell me one thing. Is that awareness? It is a loop. It can be a good awareness if you use it as a cue, as a clue to know that because this is how I am, I need to work on using my left hand because my right hand is not working. Okay. But if I say no, this is I am a right hand, this is what I am. I'm a problem solver, I'm a pushy person, I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert, whatever labels we have given ourselves. When we get into that, we tend to put ourselves into a loop because then we fix ourselves to operate only from there. Yes, it becomes rigidity. It's an easy escape route for resistance to change. Yeah, very true. Any kind of label is limiting. So true. And these labels are hiding behind blind spots. So I'm going to share with you a self-assessment. It's called as a behavioral blind spot audit. So there are some questions in that will give you an idea that in which context, where are you getting blinded by certain things that you are not really aware of that what is happening. Okay, but I'll share more of this after handing it over to Dipti so that we can talk more about what these colors are all about and what these colors, how they are connected with. I'll allow Dipti to take over here rather than me saying anything. Yes, Dipti, over to you.
Thank you so much, Meher. Quick one. Are we alive? Give me a quick yes. Alive as in not in the physical state. Yes, mentally, physically, both ways. I know we are on a Sunday. And yes, it becomes a little tiring after the entire day gets over. But this is exactly where we are actually learning the paradoxes of who we are vis-a-vis what we tend to show. Now, there
Sunday,
is something.
Sunday as for which time zone, Dipti?
Sorry.
You said Sunday. Sunday is in which time zone? Today's Friday.
Acha, did I? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just landed into Sunday. Meher, I was just testing. Are you there with me or not, physically and mentally? See, nobody else said that. Meher, it's only you and me who are alive. The rest,
No,
everybody is zonked off. Guys, let's prove, Meher, that we are all alive. All
there
right?
in the chat. Yeah.
Yes. Superb, superb. Great. Thank you so very much. Now, very quick question. Would you like to be boxed in a red box? Yes, no, quickly. Oh my God, Nawaz ma'am is saying I wanted to say, but I was muted. All right. Would you like to be boxed in a blue box? Would you like to be boxed in a green box? Would you like to be boxed in a yellow box? Simply say yes, no, no, no. All right. How about if I put a label, I am red, or I'll put a label, I am green on a face, I am blue on my face. Hey, treat me blue, treat me green. Would you like it like this? No box, no label. Brilliant. Thank you, Aarti, for saying that. No box, no label. This is exactly where PRISM comes. We don't box you, we don't label you, we don't stereotype you, we do not tag you. And most importantly, we do not at any given point of time say, you are this. I'm going to borrow what Meher has said. It is about a preference, it is about having a particular choice. Me using my right hand is default because I've been using that too often. But tomorrow, rightly so, if I am compelled to use my left hand, I do not have a problem moving it because it does not make me a different person altogether. My choices do not define me as a person. True or false? Kaun banega crorepati? Who wants to become a millionaire? Very quickly, yes or no. My choices do not define me as a person. My preferences do not define me as a person. True or false? My preferences do not define me as a person. So, very recently, during a particular very beautiful multi generational workforce session, somebody told me, ma'am, is it good to have liquor? I said, why is this question being bounced off in this kind of a forum? Because this does not apply. He said, just wanting to understand, do we get labeled for our choices that we make in our lives? Quick question, quick answer from all of you. Do we get capitalized on, or generationally, do we get targeted on the choices that we make? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We do. Does it make our character? Quickly you can answer. Does it make a character? The answer is a clear cut no. It does not make a character. It is just a preference. So the other day I asked somebody during the same session, tell me, do you drink? And very interestingly, this person said, I drink only on Friday. My question was very simple. Do you drink? The answer is a simple yes or a no. The minute you are contemplating as saying, it's on a Friday, it's on a Sunday, it's on a Wednesday, what are you telling your brain to do? You're telling your brain to actually pick up the right choice so that I like you, I love you, I respect you, and probably create a jigsaw puzzle where I can be fitted inside. The question is very clear. Is this yes or no? I'm not asking conditions applied. Okay, I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking the choice of a drink. I'm not asking. Now imagine, why did I pick up this? Because it is very quaint. I repeat again, it is very quaint. Quaint choices, quaint understandings, but Prism is not about quaintness. Last year, Meher and I, please understand, did a workshop which was only and only purely driven by Prism professional, no, personal reports. Personal reports are those particular reports which are done only on four dimensions. Four dimensions which are only bringing out the classic natures of colors that are four: red, golden, blue, and green. This time it's an advanced level where you're undergo a prism inventory which is not personal. It is a professional inventory which runs into 40 pages, which is going to dimensionally bring out 8 different parameters for you. This particular inventory is a part of the session wherein uniquely all of you is are going to get used to this particular concept of how is your prism going to be married and aligned to not just your personality but to your possibility. So give me a little while to showcase what prism look like, but before that I had a quick message from somebody. My voice is not syncing. Is it for everyone? My voice is not syncing. Can somebody say yes?
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry.
there is slight lag maybe in the network. That's okay. You can share this.
Okay. Soumya says it's fine. Gaurav says it's lagging. All right. Not syncing.
But that's
Uh,
okay. Can go ahead.
okay. I am not going to do anything about it because right now breaking down this entire thing will
Yeah,
be very difficult.
yeah.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
So I'm going to very quickly bring it down to first things first. Starting to share my screen. And after I've shared my screen and I've given you, I'll bring in Meher again, once again, to marry this particular lines. Right, Meher? So let
Yeah.
me just share the screen with you. Help me know that if the screen is visible.
Yeah.
Thanks, Meher. This is exactly what your prism brain will read as, will look as. You can see that there are four colors. I'm going a little slow at this particular rate so that you can get a grab of it. You see the golden color, which is broken down into two parts: finishing and evaluating, which is a larger cohort of something called as the analytical brain. You come down on the same side, the left hand side, just below the golden color, you see the red color. The cohort is driving, which is your goal side, which is there are two parts and two aspects to the parameters here: delivering and focusing. So delivering of the goals, focusing on the goals. You come down to the right side of the brain, and I'll start right from the rare, which is the blue color. The cohort is called as the stability cohort. Here comes the aspect of your emotions, empathy. It comes into compassion, mental toughness, and most crucial, your emotional intelligence, coordination, and support. Up there above the blue is the color green, which is the cohort is called as expression. Please understand this: expression is in terms of how fertile are you with your thought processes, how innovative and how expressive are you when you're initiating. Now please understand, while I'm explaining this, I will deep dive into it to make you understand one aspect very clearly. We have a default preference which we also called as underlying. I repeat again, it's called as underlying. If you notice my cursor moving on the right side, you will see there is a key guard here. You'll see the underlying bar, you see the adapted bar, you see the consistent bar, and you see the benchmarking. Underlying is who you are by default, but adapted is who you become in a given environment. I repeat again, you become in a given environment. Consistent bars or consistent gradations are those gradations which is the average between these two. We are not going to be focusing on that at all. And last but not the least, benchmarking is done in those circumstances where we do hardcore corporate prisms, wherein a particular KRA is supposed to be benchmarked. While I am saying that, I'll bring you down to something called as the quadrant values, which you see again on the right hand side. All of you will be going through the quadrant values, all your values will be stated here. And last but not the least, this description of the values will be positioned out here. This is a blank report. Please understand this. So when you have your reports made, this is all going to be pumped up with data. Let me show you what is the pumped up data report look like. This is what it looks like. What you see as the red line, that is this particular line in this web. If anybody can let me know very quickly, probably Meher can let me know because everybody else is muted. Meher, can you see the cursor moving on the red line?
Yes.
Perfect. This red line is called as the default U. The default U for Alex, which is this sample report, is who Alex is in real time. On the other hand, Alex's report also shows the purple or the dark violet colored line, which is the adapted one. This adapted state of affairs is who Alex becomes when he is not in his comfort zone. I repeat again, this is who he becomes when he is at work or visit people and so on and so forth. Now, if you notice very carefully, there are certain particular gradations marked here. This is Alex's actual quadrant value. Repeating again, this is actually Alex's quadrant value. This is where we need the debriefing. This is where my role pumps in. 40 long pages, which is as good as an astrological chart, which is used for a specific purpose to bring out who you are vis-a-vis who you become. One is underlying, second is your adapted state, what you are as a preference and what you do not prefer. Now, where is this used extensively? One reason to do PRISM is personal. I want to know who I am. Why is that in Meher's language? One strength overdone not working for me, or one strength not able to be positioned in the right way, again, not working for me, and so on and so forth. Having said that, have a look at this array. This can be done for recruitment, team synergizing, leadership, sales training, feedback, job benchmarking, personality development, emotional intelligence, communication, and all of this drop down. What is missed out here is relationship building, marriages, counseling, divorces, and the largest cohort which actually encompasses all of this is called as coaching and mentoring. My dear friends, very crucial at this particular point of time for me to make you understand that the purpose of doing Prism is not because we would like you to experiment with your personalities. The idea is for you to understand who you are vis-a-vis who you can become. Now, quick question before I give it back to Meher. Very simple question. Where are who you are? Give me those scenarios. Just a very simple question. Where are you who you are? Is it a trick question? No, 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 no. I'm not asking for the percentages, Swami. I'm asking you, where are you with who you are, with your loved ones at home? Hmm. All right. Comfort zone. Is there any other place? Is there any other points where you can see being yourself with people who are non judgmental? Absolutely right. While coaching and counseling? All right. Okay. Best friends, Chintan? All right. With friends? All right. Anybody, any different answer? When you're alone, very good, very nice. I'm going just to add in to saving the time on this. Where you are, who you are under three circumstances. Number one, with your own self. Okay. Two, with your closest people, which is also called as a comfort zone. And third, you'll be surprised to know, is when you are absolutely stressed. In your most uncomfortable moments is you who you are. Imagine a car ramming your car to take a maybe to overtake you. You just become who you are. You become stressed and you start probably abusing, using cuss words. And the person sitting on the passenger seat, hey, says, hey, I didn't know that you do this too. But this is not who you are. And would you like to be in front of others? Because that's where the mask comes in. How many agree? I don't want to be seen as using somebody using cuss words there. I don't want to look bad. Yeah, I really don't want to look bad. So you want to be liked, loved, valued, respected. Everything comes out at the same time. But here is the check. Here is the checkbox here. I will be who I am with my friend who's sitting on the passenger seat, who knows me through and through, thick and thin. Hey, Deepthi is generally very sweet and very nice. She's not so loud and so different here. Okay, maybe she's at a rough day. People accept us the way we are. Okay, but there are people. places where you need to mask up. Where do you mask up? You mask up where you need to present a different you, and that's the adaptive style. This is where Meher walks in, and that's where the unison happens. Why am I supposed to understand my personality? Because this is my pathway to bring out possibilities. My intention of giving you again the same statement before I hand it over to Meher once and for all. Uh, we are not targeting people. We are not labeling people. There is no stereotyping. There is absolutely nothing that we are boxing you in. What is important is you have to know your own self. I have a 70-year-old coachee, 70-year-old veteran from the army who just reached out to me and said, Deepti, I want to know myself. And I was pretty taken aback. I said, Sir, with all due respect to your age, you're a veteran, you're a doctor from the army. He said, But I still want to know myself. It is just for my information. Vis-a-vis, I have a 24-year-old professional who has joined up a job, who's doing very, very well for himself. And he suddenly said, Ma'am, I simply want to know what makes me not click with relationships. What is it that I should change that people start accepting me? I said, Do you want to fit yourself into the jigsaw puzzle? He said, Yes, kind of. So let's do this exploratory thing. And that's where Meher will help you understand that personalities bring out possibilities. Happy to get questions probably once Meher finishes. Meher, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rupti. Okay, so before I continue, I want to also share something from my own personal experience here. As I was showing in my profile, in my journey, that it's been like 12 years since I have been into this field of coaching, training, mentoring, speaking. When I was in the corporate world as a CFO, and I was looking at transitioning into this field, that was the time when I first did my PRISM. I didn't know Dipti then. There was another PRISM professional, and he had taken me through the process. And I got to know a lot of things about myself. And then a couple of years ago, when I met Dipti and she said that she does PRISM, and I said, okay, I have some fair idea about it because I've done it earlier. She said that if you'd done it earlier, then a lot of things have changed by now. And I said, yeah, of course they have changed, but I have not changed, have I? I don't change, no. How would I change? So she said, no, you want to explore? Do a PRISM again. And I got my PRISM professional 8D report done again. And yes, there were changes. So we do evolve. We may say that we are one person, we don't change, we are playing multiple roles, but yet as we go through the journey of life, we do evolve. But then the question is, do we need to really know ourselves that well? Of course you do. Because the place where I was as a corporate professional in the employment, my brain patterns were operating differently. My underlying was different. My adaptive was different. The two graphs that Dipti showed you. Today, as it stands, again, there is a lot of difference. So this is where actually Prism meets NLP. That is where the personality meets possibility. So there was a question: how do we actually come out of these patterns? So Prism helps you to spot the patterns, and NLP helps you to interrupt the patterns if they are not working. If they are working, continue working. But again, that Prism, that awareness helps you to move from where you are to where you want to be. Yes. So what is NLP? The name of NLP itself is a bit jargonish, I would admit. But and most of you here are also from the NLP community, so you already have some background about it. But for those who are new to NLP, NLP in simple terms is the language of your mind. How your mind works, the thinking process, the words that we use. And one very important aspect about it, like when Dipti was sharing about a car coming and suddenly hijacking your mood. What happened outside is different, but what it actually did is it hijacked your mood, it hijacked your choice, your preference in that moment, and you became your real self. So how does that work? In every situation, before even we look at communicating with the persons around us, we are first communicating to our own self through thoughts, through words. And that is where NLP tells you what is the language of your own mind. Of course, you can use it to find out other people's language of their mind as well. But the core is what is the language of my mind? And once I know that, can that be changed? So neuro is brain, linguistic is words, thoughts, and programming is the behavior patterns. So I have done a lot of in-depth research, even written a research paper in the field of NLP. And if I were given a chance to rename this entire field, I would not call it NLP. I would call it NLR, neuro linguistic reprogramming. Because programming has already happened. We have already been programmed since childhood. But knowing that we have the power to reprogram no matter what we have gone through, that is the power of NLP. And that helps you to change the patterns wherever needed. So NLP explains meaning. The premise of NLP is that our mind is a meaning making machine. At everything that happens, we are constantly evaluating, we're constantly interpreting and making meaning out of it. And we respond not to the reality. We respond to the interpretation of the reality that is there. So a brief understanding I would like to share through a simple example. Let us say that let's say if you're working as a corporate professional, you are getting a message from your boss that your super boss, the MD, wants to see you. Or let's take another variation of this example. Let's say you are in your own field, as an entrepreneur, as a coach, as any area that you are working on, and the client to whom you have just sent a proposal, you have been discussing with the client, you don't have any clarity about what the client wants yet, or whatever is not clear whether the client is agreeing to your proposal or not. And suddenly the client sends you a message that the MD of their company wants to meet you. You have never seen this MD. What thoughts will come to your mind? Type in the chat. How to present. Okay. Let's say you already have some background information that MD is very khadus or very strict or very frightening. Questions on why, great opportunity, thinking how to impress, what they will expecting, curiosity, why. You look at the chat, there are different answers, right? Somebody would be petrified and terrified, and somebody would be happy. Wow, it's a good opportunity. So who is right, who is wrong over here? No one is right or wrong. It's not about right or wrong at any way. But the question is that what is the reality? What is the territory? What does actually the MD wants to do? We have no idea. We are responding not to reality. We are responding to our interpretation of reality. Right? So the basic premise of the mind, when we understand that, and this is very interesting, when you understand the language of your mind, you learn how to mind your own language. Because your words have the power. Your words, what you're saying in the moment, is going to create the energy. But I'll repeat, when you learn the language of your mind, which is NLP, when you learn the language of your mind, you learn to mind your own language. So the crux of NLP is a model which I would like to quickly walk you through. We will not go into so much depth of this. This is taken in complete depth in rather how to apply this in our 2-day workshop where we understand PRISM with our 8D as well as the NLP model. How our mind works is simple. This is, let's say, your mind, and there is something happening externally. We are absorbing external information through the 5 senses: sight, sound, feeling, smell, taste. Forget what the individual letters mean. There are some NLP jargons. We don't need to go into that. We'll keep it simple. We absorb information with the 5 senses. And if we look at it throughout at any given point of time, information is getting bombarded to us at the rate of 2 million bytes per second. What information I'm talking about, even as you're looking at me on the screen, there are a lot of things taking your visual attention around you. Even when you listen to my voice, there are noise of the AC, fan, paper around you, people talking in another room, people, traffic outside, all these things are there. While you are holding your pen, You are also having the kinesthetic, the feeling touch of your clothes, of everything, the smell, the taste. All these are sensations which are coming to you at all times. If we were to absorb all this together, and let me be honest, till the time I told you about it, probably you didn't realize, ye bhi hai. Oh, this is there, that is there, everything is there. We cannot absorb everything. We can absorb only 5 to 9 pieces of information per second. There is a research done on it called as the George Miller's number, 7. You can look up on it later. So if out of 2 million bytes, we are absorbing only 7 plus or minus 2, where is the rest going? The rest is what gets filtered. Filtered through what we delete. Delete as in what we selectively focus on. We chose to ignore everything else because we know what matters. We focus. We distort, we associate things. And no, this means that. That person is smiling. That means why are they smiling when I'm sad? They are very jealous, or they want me to be in trouble. Right? We make our meaning. We generalize that this is what it's always. And all these three filters of deletion, distortion, generalization, they may sound like negatively stated, but they are actually positive filters that help us to make sense of what matters in the moment. If they were not there, we would go crazy of making sense of each and everything. So thank them for being there. The problem happens when we start misusing that, or we make different meaning of what was needed to be made. Our mind is constantly going to be a meaning making machine thanks to these three filters. But there are times when we start making disempowering or limiting meanings. All that will come from our own values, beliefs, attitude, memory, decision, language, and much more. This is what goes into our mind. Now, where it sits in our mind, they sit as thoughts. Forget the NLP language of internal representation, keep it simple. They are basically the thoughts that we have in our mind, including the self chatter that we have, the internal dialogue. This governs our emotional state. Whether we are like that message, if I go back on this, the external event is the MD's message. What we processed is based on our filters, and we had the thought, oh, great opportunity, or oh my God, something mess happened. I don't know what will happen. How will I do my best? All that is creating an emotional state, either of fear or curiosity or confidence or opportunity, whatever it is. Based on that, our physiology changes. And based on that, our physiology, basically our body language, the way we present, and based on that, our response to that external event, which is basically our behavior, changes. Now relate this to the iceberg model. Relate this to the iceberg model. What is seen externally is what? Behavior, physiology, and some extent to the extent that we show our emotional state. That is at the surface, above the surface of the iceberg. But what is deeper? Our patterns, our internal representation, which are our thoughts, and our filters. And these are the filters that govern our preferences that get detected in the PRISM report. Now, a very interesting part of this entire chart, two things I want to point out as interesting over here. These arrows which you are seeing, the ones that I'm showing the cursor right now, these arrows which you are seeing, they are double-sided. Which means that while your thoughts are affecting your emotions and your physiology and your behavior, you can even reverse the sequence. And this we can learn in the entire NLP program. And even if you've done NLP, we will learn it specific to your PRISM report in the 2-day program that will follow. So that was one part which is interesting, the two-way arrows. The second part which is interesting over here is this behavior, your response that happens over here becomes the external event for the other person's thoughts. This behavior that is happening, the response that you get to your behavior becomes the external event for your own thoughts. So this loop continues. This entire loop continues again and again, again and again, again and again. All the time. So this is the primary meaning making model of the mind. So when we say that our strengths stop working for us, we need to realize that when we change the meaning, the state can change, the emotional state. And when the emotional state can change, the behavior can change. And what are you thinking is that can behavior really be trained? A lot of behavior training programs are focused on external behavior, but NLP is focused on beneath the surface, beneath the iceberg, when you become aware of what works, what doesn't work, what needs to be done. NLP is based on three simple pillars. And these three pillars can be coordinated with the Google Maps in simplicity. If you want to go to one place from one place to the other, what is the first thing that Maps will ask you? The destination, right? Where do you want to go? That in NLP is what we call as outcome, the first pillar of NLP. Being clear about what you want. The second thing it will ask you is where are you right now? Present location, right? If one of the two, right? So present location, current location, it will ask you. So once it will tell you this is here, then it will say, okay, from where do you want that distance? So it will tell you where is the current location. That is another primary pillar of NLP, which is your awareness about your current situation. So where you are to where you want to go. Two important pillars in NLP are awareness and outcome. The third important pillar is when you put this, math will tell you, oh, these are the possible routes you can take. And then you choose. And that choice comes from your being flexible. The third pillar of NLP is flexibility. When you know what works, what does not work, what do I want to do, and that is where you realize that you can use all these three pillars. Type in the three pillars in the chat, everyone. Outcome, awareness, and flexibility. Yes. When you know that these three pillars are operating in your mind, you can choose between response or choice. You can realize what are your automatic responses and what is the conscious choice that you really want to take. And there is a beautiful quote by Viktor Frankl. Between the stimulus and the response, if I put it in form of that map which we saw in the NLP diagram, between the external event and your behavior, there is a space. In that space is your power to choose your response, to choose what meaning making you want to do, to choose what meaning, what state you want to operate from, what are the thoughts, what are the emotions, what are the physiology you want to operate from. And in that response lies your growth and your freedom. I'll just quickly narrate one personal experience over here. You all saw in my journey that I'm a chartered accountant. Many of you are not aware that what made me pick that choice of being a chartered accountant. Way back in the 8th standard, when I was given a chance to speak on stage in school, I fumbled terribly. And everybody in that session, all my batchmates, so called, right? 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard, they all laughed, they all booed. And I made a decision I will never ever go and speak on stage. To the extent that when a choice came after completing my graduation, whether to do CA or MBA, MBA, according to me, meant facing audience, public speaking, presentations, not my cup of tea. I will do my CA. That was my reason for career choice. Can you imagine? Your preferences are governed by deeper underlyings under the iceberg principles that you are also not aware of. Throughout my school and college, I used to stammer, stutter. Today, my batchmates, my schoolmates, when they see me in this profession, they are like amazed. Wow, how do you do that? How did you do that? So that is the power of reprogramming. That is the power of reprogramming with the help of NLP, knowing where what works. And the goal is not to change who you are. What is the goal then? The goal is to increase who you can be. And this absolutely aligns to what you all shared in the beginning of the session today. What would personality to possibility mean for you? Moving from where you are to where you want to be. Because whatever strength you may have, that has a shadow. And that particular strength stops being functional when context changes, when role changes, when scale changes, when stakes change, when your emotional maturity does not grow. Somebody had written earlier in the chat, right? The emotional maturity is emotions take over. Well, the good news is that you can control how your emotions operate and not the other way around. And again, where this will function, I will share with this towards the end of the session. I will share a PDF with you, which has the audit assessment for your own self to find out what are the critical behavioral dimensions where strengths may be overlapping, pressures are playing a role, or there may be visible and influence gaps between where you are and where you want to be. But before I share that, let me share a few more things with you. Please realize that the difference that makes the difference is not the strength itself. It is the flexibility that you have, the choice that you have to modulate your strength to make it work where it works. And today, I'm sure you got a lot of awareness. Can you all type in the chat what is the key learning that you got from today so far? What is the key learning that you got from today? What is the key insight that you got? Yes. Come on, I want everyone to participate. The behavioral blind spot audit sheet will be shared only with those who respond in the chat. Yes, we can do reprogramming. Urge to do PRISM. We can empower ourselves if we know who we are and how to use it. Break your bias. Great, great. Keep typing. I'm not going to read out everyone aloud, but I'm reading every message. Wow. Yes. Great. Own layers. Yeah, the choice behind the choice. Break the pattern. You don't always need to break the pattern. First, you need to be aware where the pattern needs to be broken. Identify triggers. PRISM report more useful than astrology report. Yeah. Yes. Great. Personality can be reframed. Yeah. Awesome. Good, good. Keep sharing. Keep sharing. Remember one thing. When you think you don't have a choice, you are making a choice of not having a choice. Who you want to become. Don't assume it's our strength everywhere. Yeah. So awareness explains you, whereas flexibility expands you. Great. Awesome, Aarti. Thank you for sharing that journey, that transition from the offline session to today. Great. Good. Personality is only your starting point, and performance is your choice that you make. Now, most people will stop with the awareness. Okay, I got to understand. And then what will happen? They will say, okay, I understand myself. They will label their style. Okay, I know this is what is working, this is what is not working. But then the flip side of that is that they will start justifying their reactions. I am a right-handed only. I am an introvert. I'm not a salesperson. I'm a technical guy, or I'm not tech savvy. And we create those justifications after the awareness. And that begins to create the loop. So from here, where you are right now with this awareness, instead of stopping, you have got two paths. Path one is keep your clarity with you, apply it slowly, and keep experimenting alone. Part two is the support, the ongoing journey that Dipti and I can take you through. This is going to be a 2-day simulation, followed by not just getting over in 2 days, but there is going to be a slightly longer journey beyond that, which I will share. You will be able to practice stakeholder scenarios with each other in your life, train your behavioral flexibility, and build the edge while your momentum is high right now. So when is this 2 days happening? It is happening on the next upcoming weekend, Saturday, 28th February and Sunday, 1st March. It is in Mumbai at Courtyard by Mumbai, by Marriott, Andheri East. And what you will get in these sessions is you will be able to decode your pressure patterns. Learn to interrupt it safely. Practice alternative responses. Train state control. Leave with repeatable choices and tools. So, are you interested to know more about the session? Yes. You have got two experts with you of two different fields, right? Dipti is here and I am there to bridge this gap between awareness and flexibility. The regular investment of this program is 45,000 plus 18% GST. It comes to 53,100. If you look at our website, the web page right now, this is what you will find it for 53,100. Okay. The 8D PRISM assessment, which is going to be part of this program, comes from for 7,500. But the way it is announced right now outside for people to register, this 8D PRISM is going to be part of your investment. So you don't have to pay 7,500 extra. Okay. So what all are you going to get? You will get 2 days of intensive behavioral lab in Mumbai live, 2 full days with Dipti and me for worth 53,100. The PRISM profile plus the 40-page printed report personalized for you. It will be on your desk on Saturday, 28th of February. Provided you have to submit the registrations today, okay? Because there's a time that we take to process the report. So we'll talk about all those nitty-gritties once you're on board. So this itself is worth 60,600. Now, do you want more? We have some bonuses for you, okay? Number one, the report usually does not come with a debriefing. But we are going to package a 1 hour live one-to-one PRISM debriefing with Dipti. This is usually priced when Dipti does the report. The report is priced for her clients for 7,500 plus 6,000. You are getting both in the package. And this,
Meher,
yeah,
sorry, just a little addition here.
yeah,
This 1 hour live one-to-one PRISM debriefing by me is only going to be done post the workshop gets over
yes, yes.
within a
Yeah.
given
So
time
I'll do.
period.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
not going to be
I'm
in
coming
the
to that.
room.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm coming to that. Yeah. So because this is going to be one-to-one and this is going to be one-to-one with you, so this will be post the workshop. Of course, there'll be a limited time window available to you. We will talk all about that in the workshop for you to set up your appointment with Dipti. Okay, because it's not an unlimited time that, okay, after a year you say, now tell me the debriefing of the report. Okay. So it is going to be very time bound for you to complete it. This is itself worth another 6,000 rupees. We are offering one more live workshop with Dipti. This is focused on the mind's blind spots. In fact, the bonus that you're going to get today in this workshop itself, the blind spot audit, that will help you, that will help Dipti to take you through this. This is going to be a live online workshop as a group. So all of you register for the Behavioral Edge will get this as part of it. It will be, and the time schedule for this will be shared. It's going to be a cohort program. This is going to be for 4 hours, and this will be worth 7,500. One more live workshop with you with Dipti is the quotients of success. Keep the curiosity alive, what it's all about. It's very, very interesting. And that also will be scheduled as a group. And when you join this program, some may say, but what if I'm not available for the live online workshop? You will get recording access to that as well. Apart from that, whether you are NLP certified or not, generally our NLP programs come with a live, not with a limited access of recording. You will be getting 30 hours NLP practitioner course recorded access for lifetime. The NLP course itself is worth 15,900. Okay, the certification will come with certain other elements, but you will get the entire process. Even if you want to go back and check on what we did during the workshop or whatever we've spoken about today in terms of what is the NLP point over here, what are the tools and techniques, the principles, everything, you will have lifetime access to the entire NLP practitioner course. You will get recorded access, again, lifetime, to my course, which is called as the Self-Ishq Challenge, the self-love challenge that I had done last year. This is recorded. Again, lifetime access will be shared. This is for 3999. You will get recorded access to one more challenge that I had done earlier this year, Design Your Year 2026. And part of this is another packaged bonus in this, which was Design Your Year 2025. So basically, you're getting two for the package of one. So it's like not only 3999, it's double of that. It's almost 8,000. So total value that you are getting is 1,05,498. And what you are going to pay for this is not 1,05,000, not even 60,600, not even 53,100. The value open only for today is 39,000, all inclusive with GST. So I'm going to share the link here, and this is open only for today. So here is the link for you to join in. The entire value that you're going to get is there in front of you, and the coupon code is applied over here. You can click the link in the Zoom chat here, or you can scan here and register right away. Yes, Siddharth, thank you. And yes, some of you are registered in the offline session last time, and some of these bonuses were not announced last time. They are unannounced bonuses, and yes, you get all these bonuses, although you are registered in the offline workshop. Thank you. So join in now. I've enrolled, eagerly looking forward to attending in person. Yes, thank you. And by the way, all those who have already registered for this, we have already reached out to you to get your PRISM report done. Okay, so make sure that you complete it within the next 48 hours. By Monday, we need to have your PRISM inputs ready. We need to have, so you will be sharing your email ID. Once you register, we will share all those details with you personally, one-to-one. We will take your details of the email address, where you will get a link to answer a few questions. And when you do that, you will get your report. The report will be presented to you in hard copy. So don't bother to take the printouts of the report that you get on email. You will get a hard copy. Yeah. We'll talk about all of that. Yeah. One more thing I want to share, that so far, out of the people who have registered for this program, 75% of them are already NLP master practitioners certified. Okay. Why I'm sharing that is that if something comes to your mind that no, but I have already done NLP, do I need to do this program? The answer is yes, it will be different in NLP practitioner and master practitioner. You already know all the tools and everything, the principles. But here in this 2 days, we are going to make it absolutely customized for your findings from your PRISM report. This is offline only. And let me tell you one more thing I wanted to share. Dipti, shall we share about the discussion that we had? Yeah,
Yeah,
before
just
that, you
wanted
want to
to
add something?
add one thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. This is
yeah,
for everyone who is listening to this, very importantly, that the people who've already joined when we did the offline session in Bombay on the 14th of February, the people who joined the same day, when they came up for the session, they've already gone through the prisms. So I
yeah.
already have a battery of prism reports with me for the people who've already finished their session with us. This online, offline, online, online. This online session is just another window to tell you what you are, yes, ready to explore for more. Also keep this in mind that this particular thing comes under a very strong compliance and a very strong disclaimer. Your reports are not going to be available to anyone, but it is between you and me. So there is
Yeah.
a strong protocol of conditions applied. You need to give me your names and your addresses, that is your email addresses, where the links will be silo isolated. They'll be passed on to you. The report is going to be generated only by me from the servers of the UK, where it is based out of. And post that, as Meher has rightly said, since we are hitting and very, very close to the deadline of the workshop, we would request you if you're joining in today. And I think the end limit is tomorrow morning, Meher, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Yes. So by Monday, I should be having all your reports done. So in case if you're joining, I'll be able to send you your links immediately, which helps you to wrap up. And Meher, please go ahead with the little conversation that we had around
Yeah.
yesterday.
Before that, I want to share with you that this is the link that has been shared in the chat. If you look, and this is the open link, this is not the coupon code applied. So for everyone outside this group, the pricing is 53,100 on the website. Okay, but when you click on this link here, you will find it for this prices struck off, and you will find it as only 39,000. So click on the register now button, and all the bonuses which are shared in this program in this session today will be with you. This is our commitment, and this is what you will get. All this pages, this landing page confirms everything that we have mentioned about what will be there in the session. Plus the bonuses are extra. Okay, whether you are new to NLP, whether you are already NLP certified, this program is for you. So we'll talk about offline, the other versions also of it. But one more thing I wanted to share with you, and this was a small conversation that I was having with Dipti just after we concluded the offline session. So last weekend on Saturday, we had this same program in Mumbai, what we did today, okay, in an offline version. And the reason why we held it in Mumbai was that knowing very well that this is going to be an invitation for all of you to join the 2-day program which is happening in Mumbai, we chose to do a offline program in Mumbai. But guess what we realized after getting the registration for the 2-day program? When we looked at the people who registered for the 2-day program, we realized that 50% of those who registered are from outside of Mumbai. So people have seen the worth of getting this offer at 39,000 and traveling all the way to Mumbai specifically for the 2-day event. So that is when Dipti and I discussed that, then why our own mindset, which was okay, because it's in Mumbai, we should do an offline only in Mumbai. Why not open it up to everyone across India and even across the world? You are invited to come and join this 2-day program. Because for the kind of value you're going to get, the thing you have to ask yourself is not about how much you are investing in joining this program. The question you have to ask yourself is that what would be the cost of not joining this program? What would be the cost of repeating the loop of your own patterns without being aware about the patterns? Okay, so think about that. And that is for the registration details. Please go ahead. You can register right away. And as promised, the bonus for today is your behavioral blind spot audit sheet. So let me share that as well with you. So first and foremost, I'm going to share this PDF in the chat over here for you to download. This recording will be available till tonight. No, till tomorrow, till 12 o'clock, till 12 noon. Okay. This recording will be available till 12 noon. The early bird offer is available till tonight for you to join in. Yes, think about the possibilities that will be generated when you attend. Absolutely. Thank you, Nawaz, for sharing that. Yes. And the cost of not attending as well. So this is the behavioral blind spot audit tool. The PDF has been shared here in the chat. I'll open it here and show you what it looks like as well. So meanwhile, continue the registrations and we are ready to welcome you on board. So this is the PDF which I've shared. This has some kind of context setting, the 3 kind of gaps that will be seen. And it's a simple questionnaire, overlapping strengths, pressure patterns, visibility and influence gaps. And when you score yourself out of 120 on this, you will see where you lie. But knowing is not enough how to decode them. realizing where the strengths are working, where it is protecting you, where it is not protecting you, what will happen if you don't do anything. And some more questions are there for your introspection and brainstorming. Plus, this offer is also shared with you in this document for you to enroll using this link over here. This is already the link with the coupon code applied. So, looking forward to welcome you on board. And any questions, we are there to answer. Thank you. Timing of the sessions 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. There
And you
will
do
be an
not have to
interesting.
get your tiffin boxes for these 2 sessions. It's absolutely flooded with loads of food, lots of breakfast, and it's going to be an ongoing process. So, as much as we chew your brain, you can keep feeding yourself so you're not empty at all. Yes.
So we'll be
Nawaz ma'am,
having
you
a
have a
breakfast
question.
menu at Courtyard Marriott, the lunch at Courtyard Marriott, of course, followed by some high tea also. So make it worth it. What is more important is not that food, the food that you get for the thought and blending that with that. Yeah. Great. What are the ages? So when I was doing my acting class, we were told that, if somebody asks you, how old are you? As an actor, the answer to that question is, how old do you want me to be? Okay, because as an actor, you're in your own zone, whichever age you would like to put is just a number. Okay. What matters is not the age, what matters is the experience, the education, and you getting the benefit of this worthy experience put together. Thank you. Yes, Priyal, welcome on board. Looking forward to see you. Great, Archana. Sure. Now, this one is only offline. There is no online version of the 2-day program. Yeah. So you're most welcome to come over to Mumbai and join us. This is more experiential because the hard copy of the report is there. There is a lot of things that we will be doing, activity and everything. Yeah, Nawaz, I'll unmute you in a while. So make sure you make the maximum benefit of this by coming there. Be present with your presence. And be present so that you fulfill your future in a better way.
Okay, Meher, we have a couple of questions that have gone up,
Yeah.
scrolled up,
Yes.
which is,
So
are we not doing this in
yeah.
any other
Yes.
city? Yes, we are doing
No.
it in Bangalore,
Currently
Chennai,
not.
not right now.
Not
Yeah,
right.
not right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the reason why we thought that instead of we traveling and adding to the offer price, because then imagine it may not be 39,000 if we have to come in your city. But right now it is 39,000 while it is here in Mumbai because we are able to pass on the benefits of our costing to you. And you may end up taking better benefit of applying at this really, really, really deep discounted price right away by you traveling to Mumbai rather than we traveling to your city. Thank you so much, Pritam. Yes, we can take more questions now. Yeah, Nawaz. So you can raise your hand, everyone, and we can unmute you. Yes, GST invoice will be available. You'll have to reach out to me with your GST details, company details, GST number, and we'll help you with that.
Yeah.
Yes, Nawaz.
Is it possible just to do the PRISM?
We will maybe you can reach out to Dipti. Dipti, you can share your mobile number in the chat.
I'll just do that.
Yeah, because that can definitely be explored. Yes.
Nawaz ma'am, there you have for the people who, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure, Nawaz ma'am.
Great.
got
Any
it.
other questions for the session? Yeah, Nawaz ma'am, we are all waiting for you to come back to Mumbai.
I know. How are you, Vikram? I enjoyed your joke if nobody else did.
Oh, that was a dive at me, okay? And he just enjoyed that, doing that in class also the other day. Nawaz ma'am, where are you based out of? I'm intrigued now to ask you.
Melbourne.
Please come, or
I'm
I'll come.
Aussie baby now.
No, no, I'll come. It's okay. I have a passport which is just waiting for the Australian stamp there. Let me come,
Come,
please.
come,
Allow me
come.
to come. Yes. So
Most
I'll give
welcome.
you Prism free while you sponsor my ticket. What say, Meher?
Good idea.
You buy your ticket, your stays with
Oh,
me.
Peri. Oh my God. Okay. Take care. I think this is a discussion which will have to have offline out of this particular session.
That is why you need. She needs the number. All right. So great. So thank you very much for being here, everyone, and we look forward to continue this journey with you on coming Saturday. Any further questions? Any insights? Any sharing? We are open for that now. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Absolutely delighted to have you all.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
See you. Bye.
Good
Good night.
night.
Thank you, Vikram. Welcome on board. See you.